Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle-earth here. It's that time of week again. We have our weekly game update in The Lord of the Rings: The Rise to War. So if you want to know everything that happened in this update, stay tuned because I'm going to go through all the notes in just a second. All right, it seems like we're kind of getting into a clockwork here of when updates are happening, and it's a good thing whether you like the downtime or not. I know that it's kind of frustrating when I'm trying to play during that time, but just gotta be patient for about an hour. But it means they're working on the game. They want to improve the experience for everyone. There are always optimizations, and today we see some balancing, which we're going to talk about a little bit. Again, not as much in today's update, but some just in general important things happening. So we're going to just jump right into it. So first of all, it increased an optimization is they increased the difficulty and rewards of mobs. So any mobs in the map that you see, here's level 10 for example, you can sweep these mobs if you have adjacent land to them and you get rewards. And one thing that has been a complaint that I've heard as well as that I've had is that I've not really seen mobs over a certain level at certain points. Now I think it depends on your server progression as well, but in my main account where I'm very high leveled, it just seems like I wish they were a little bit harder, that there was a little bit more bang for your buck there. So they are increasing difficulty, or they did increase difficulty for mobs and increase the rewards there. So hopefully that's a nice change for us. And the other optimization they did was it says army status now differentiates friendly / enemy colors. Now I wasn't 100% sure what this is. I think maybe I have an idea, and someone please correct me if I'm wrong, because I was just kind of looking around trying to see what that was. I wasn't 100% sure if it was just talking about on different players' cards. If the it says it differentiates friendly and enemy colors. I don't know if that just like the glow there in the back, if that kind of is the differentiation it's talking about with color. We know that person is in our faction, that person there as well. Again, I could be wrong. Again, blue is in a war band, so if I could find someone that was blue as well, I could see more clearly. But again, I could scroll on here all day. Who knows? I think that might be what it's talking about, but it is just an optimization, so it's not going to change anything. But if you know specifically what that's talking about, let me know. Again, we're just going through this. I'm not the end-all be-all expert on everything, but I think that might be what it has to do with just more clearly seeing whether it's a friend or foe when you go over the enemy army. So those are two optimizations, and then kind of quickly here we're going to go through the different commander and unit balancing, and that's the last thing that happened in this update. And so there's kind of 4 of them, but the big thing I want to note here is not any of the specific things that happened, but just the fact that they are balancing commanders and units, because one of the biggest complaints I've heard with news about season 2 and things coming up is people are worried that that the devs are going to get lazy and instead of balancing characters, just kind of let everyone play with everyone. Now, I'm not saying those are my words. I'm just saying what I've heard. But I think this directly counters that they're not being lazy. They are updating commanders and they are balancing units to give everyone a better experience regardless of how you want to play the game. So I think that's pretty cool overall. So I was really happy to see that there were some commander and unit balances, but we're going to get into those really quick. Number 1, we have the Crusher. So the Crusher over here is a tier 3 unit in the grunt layer right here. And it says that the Crusher, they have reduced the overall conscription time, they've reduced the cost, and the treatment time. So they've made this guy just a little bit more obtainable, I guess, which is good. So if you're a fan of the Crusher, you can get him for less time, less resources, and their treatment time in the apothecary is lessened as well. So solid update there. The next thing is the War Chariot. Shout out to Rune getting a little love here. The War Chariot fixed an issue with the damage effect stacking on the special ability Scythes. Now it will trigger on rounds 1 and 6, causing 2 enemy targets to receive 40% physical damage each round. The effect lasts for 4 rounds, and its damage cannot be avoided. So again, it looks like there may have been an issue with the damage not stacking its ability. So again, it's just going to be a good thing if you're playing as Rune, especially, which I am on this server. So that works out well there for the War Chariot. The next one is the Hobbit Slinger. I'll have to hunt one down really quick. Here we go, the Hobbit Slinger. It says Hobbit Slinger, their special ability now correctly reduces battle death. So their ability here says sure-footed, healing received plus 2%. More units are converted into wounded soldiers after battle, fewer deaths. So apparently this was not working as intended, but especially for folks who like to use the hobbits who start near them and they're a super easily obtainable troop really early on, that could be solid. So I hope that's a good change for the Hobbit Slinger. And then the last one, there are two commanders that had a balancing update. It says the following commander's skills now ignore avoidance. So the first one is Kamul. His poison damage, lovely blue stacks there. Kamul's poison damage now ignores avoidance. So any abilities that he has that where he inflicts poison damage, that is now going to ignore avoidance. And then the other one is Sauron, his Overlord ability. Let me pull him up real quick. I know, shockingly, I don't have Sauron. About the worst pull luck in the history of the game. So Sauron right here, his Overlord ability. Let's see, Overload. Sorry, not Overlord. The Overload ability. This is now going to this damage cannot be avoided. So as you can see there, before I think it could have been avoided, but now that cannot be avoided. So again, they're balancing out. It seems like a lot more love for the evil units in this one, other than the Hobbit Slingers, which I think maybe at their core they might be evil. I don't know. But again, not a crazy amount. There were no crazy quality of life things like we've seen in the past, where they added like the search feature for finding units. But again, not every week's going to be like game shaking. If they just over time every week keep doing stuff like this, I think it's going to be really good. So again, let me know what you think about this update, and if anybody can clarify on the army status, the second optimization. I'm a little curious to make sure we understand that. But again, it's just an optimization, so it's not going to really change anything. But that's going to do it for me today, and I hope to see you all in a future video.